In Home Sweet Home, Sophie starts a new job as a home carer for elderly people, very, very old people who cannot fend for themselves and need help with changing their clothes and feeding themselves, and she has to visit multiple elderly people every day in her schedule. This new job, after several weeks and months, start to take a toll on Sophie. There's many politics involved in the job. It's a government-run job, and she starts to get emotionally involved with these elderly people, which takes a toll on her mental health and also takes a toll on her home life. She lives with her daughter. She has a 10-year-old daughter. She shares the daughter with her ex-husband. She has 1 week off and 1 week on. Home Sweet Home is directed by Frelle Petersen, who has previously directed films such as Where Have All the Good Men Gone, Uncle, and Forever. Home Sweet Home is an engaging drama. I haven't really seen a film that really focuses on people who have to go to old people's home and look after them. So that was quite a unique experience to see that. And it was very interesting to see all the politics involved in this. She has to go to, she gets to spend like 25 minutes or half an hour with each person, so she has to quickly go in and feed them and change their clothes, and she doesn't really have much time to do anything extra for them. Sometimes these elderly people, they ask for to go outside or extra food or to just hang around and talk with them, but she doesn't really have time. And at the beginning, when she starts her job, she does want to spend more time with them, but she realizes as she has more experience, she would just not have time for this. She needs to just put her head down and get the job done. This film is set in Denmark, and her job is a government-run job, so she is paid by the government to go around and help with these elderly people. And it was nice to see the attitude. And almost everybody in the film treats her respectfully. Some of the elderly people are a little bit grumpy and get in a bad mood and don't treat her correctly, but there is one character in the film. She's the daughter of one of the elderly people, and she seems to be always there when Sophie visits her, and she just thinks that Sophie is no good, she's useless, she doesn't do her job properly, and there ends up being a complaint against Sophie later in the film, and Sophie doesn't take this too well. She takes it personally, and it's a bit of a conflict. That plot doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it does show you that this daughter, she says, one line, and she says in the film is, "Oh, my tax dollars pay for your salary," so it's like you should do whatever I say. So that was a kind of a nice subplot in the film. But for me, this film dramatically just didn't have enough. It got a little bit repetitive, like what I described at the start of this video of the plot. Like she just visits people's home, and it's her new job, and she has some politics and people she has to deal with, and she has a daughter. That's pretty much it. That's the whole movie. Like there is not much. There are a lot of things that happen. Like she has this relationship with her daughter. It's a little bit strained. I think her daughter is not really dealing with the divorce from her and her father. And once Sophie starts this new job, she doesn't have much time to spend with her daughter. So her daughter is kind of a bit off a bit. But that subplot doesn't really go anywhere. It gets a little bit repetitive. Like every scene is just her daughter kind of rebelling against her mother, and we don't really get too much of an insight why she's behaving this way. We get to see Sophie kind of change as the film goes on. In the beginning, when she starts a job, she's very caring about the patients and she's very detailed. But then when some incidents happen, like one of the elderly women passes away, and then in the second half of the film, Sophie thinks it's her fault when one of the elderly men falls out of a bed and then has to go to hospital, so she takes that personally. and then when she goes to visit everybody's home, she kind of behaves differently. She just kind of like, it's like a robot, goes in, gives the food, bye-bye, see you later. She doesn't really have a personal connection with these elderly people, so that was interesting to see. But Sofie, played by Jette Søndergaard, she's quite good, but her character is a little bit of a mystery. We don't really get to know much about her. She's divorced, she has a daughter, she has a job, and she also teaches. She in a part-time, she does like a gymnastics teaching for young girls. Her daughter is part of the class, but she is a bit of an enigma. I wish we knew a bit more about her. I wish her personality came out a little bit more. So I was a little bit frustrated with that. Maybe would have gotten me a little more connected with the story a little bit more if she wasn't such a blank wall. I give Home Sweet Home 3 stars out of 5. It's quite an engaging drama. It's very interesting to see the daily life of one of these home carers who looks after old people, and there are little conflicts along the way that make it more interesting. But for me, it just got a little bit repetitive, like her visiting all these old people. She'll visit one old person in the first half of the film, and in the second half she'll visit them again, and it's just the same thing, like changing the clothes, fitting them. It's not really much different. There's not much dramatic heft to the film, so it got a little bit repetitive, and the lead character Sofie, she was a little bit of a mystery. So I just wish we knew more about her so I could connect with the film a little bit more. But I would still recommend checking out Home Sweet Home. There was a lot of good things in the film. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Home Sweet Home? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.